Top 10 commanders who became unlikely stars of military history. Judas Maccabeus, 191–60 BC. Judah the Hammer, also known as Yehuda HaMaccab in Hebrew, was the third son of Mattathias from the Hasmonean family, born into a lineage of priests in the town of Modin, Judah, along with his brothers Eleazar, Simon, John, and Jonathan. Played a significant role in a historical conflict during 168 BC. The catalyst for this conflict was the Seleucid ruler Antiochus of Epiphanes, who aimed to enforce Hellenic culture and religion throughout his diverse kingdom, which included Jerusalem. This imposition included placing Greek gods' images in the Second Temple, prompting a rebellion led by Mattathias and other Jewish devotees. Judas emerged as a key figure during the ensuing war for control over Judea. His victories culminated in the liberation of Jerusalem on the 25th day of Kislev in 164 BC. Notably, during the temple's purification, a tradition suggests that there was only enough oil for one day, but miraculously, it burned for 8 nights until more oil was found. The conflict, however, continued with losses for the Hasmonean family. Eleazar fell in 161 BC, and in 160 BC, Judas faced defeat against Bacchides, leading to his death in battle. The burial of Judas was marked with a quote from King David's lament for King Saul, "How the mighty have fallen." Subsequently, Jonathan and Simon met their fates, leaving John as the last surviving Maccabee by 142 BC. Finally, by 141 BCU, Judea achieved autonomy within the Seleucid kingdom and gained in Narses Ike Tide, 478–568. Narses, a Romanized Armenian, served as a key figure in the Eastern Roman Empire during the reign of Emperor Justinian I. Although the exact dates of his birth and death are uncertain, his castration and rise to prominence are documented. Narses held important positions such as steward, chief treasurer, and grand chamber of the court. In 532, Narses played a crucial role in suppressing the Nika riots. Despite lacking evidence of military training, Emperor Justinian I dispatched him to Italy in 538 to assist Count Flavius Belisarius in the campaign against the Ostrogoths. The relationship between Narses and Belisarius was marked by mutual distrust, leading to Narses being recalled by Justinian. In 541, suspecting Narses's loyalty, Justinian reassigned him to confront the Sasanians in Mesopotamia. Narses eventually replaced Belisarius in Italy, becoming the supreme commander at the age of 73 by June 551. His military successes culminated in a triumphant return to Rome in 554, marking the first triumph in the city in 150 years and the last. After Justinian's death on Navi, 565, the new emperor, Justin I, recalled Narses to Constantinople in 567. Conflicting accounts surround Narses's death, with some claiming he died en route in April 568, while others suggest a peaceful retirement in 574 at a possible age of 96. Narses's journey through the Byzantine political landscape stands as a remarkable achievement, considering the challenges and uncertainties he faced. Genghis Khan, GC, 1162–1227. Temujin, born to a Mongol chieftain of the Borjigin clan, faced early challenges when his father passed away when he was 8. While he likely received training in the standard Mongol mounted warrior skills, his achievements surpassed these by 1206. During a Kurultai, a gathering of his peers, Temujin was elected as the first Khagan, taking the name Genghis Khan. One of the intriguing aspects of Genghis Khan's ascent to power is how he acquired hands-on experience in forging alliances and transforming a disparate group of steppe warriors into a disciplined army. By 1206, he had created a vast political entity with a codified legal system, essentially built from scratch. Despite estimates suggesting that his ruthless expansion resulted in the deaths of as many as 17 million people, a significant portion of the world's population at that time, Genghis Khan achieved the conquest of the largest contiguous landmass in history. His legacy includes the establishment of a meritocracy that allowed universal religious tolerance, fostering pan-Eurasian trade connections during times of peace. While unprecedented in the Mongol world, this enduring system lasted for a quarter of a millennium. Despite the controversy surrounding Genghis Khan elsewhere, he remains at the pinnacle of Mongolia's hierarchy of national heroes, a testament to the lasting impact of his accomplishments. Johann Circles, Count of Tilly, 1559–1632. Johann Circles, Count of Tilly, born in Brabant in the Spanish Netherlands, now Belgium, began his journey as a soldier at the age of 15 during the 80 Years' War against the Dutch. Despite attending Jesuit school in Cologne, he quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating exceptional skill as he transitioned from a private to a field marshal in just 5 years. By 1610, he was entrusted with command of the Catholic League by Duke Maximilian. Tilly's military prowess became evident during the 30 Years' War, where his victory at White Mountain in 1620 played a pivotal role in sidelining Bohemia early in the conflict. As Protestant opposition rose against the Holy Roman Empire, Tilly consistently emerged victorious, earning a reputation for invincibility. However, his fortunes changed when King Gustavus I Adolphus introduced a new phase in the war with his innovative Swedish army. Tilly faced a significant setback when his forces stormed Magdeburg in 1631, resulting in a loss of control over his troops and the brutal slaughter of a large portion of the city's population. A decisive defeat at Bredenfeld in September of the same year marked a turning point in Tilly's career, with Gustavus outmaneuvering and defeating him. Although Tilly secured a modest victory at Bamberg in 1632, he faced a fatal blow at Reine am Lech on April 15, where he was struck in the thigh by an arquebus round. Succumbing to osteomyelitis, Tilly passed away in Ingolstadt on April 30, 1632, marking the end of a remarkable yet controversial military career. Oliver Cromwell, 1599–1658. During the English Civil War, Oliver Cromwell, a prominent figure known within the merchant community, gained notoriety, having served as a member of Parliament for Huntingdon in 1628–29 and 1640–42. Cromwell's sole military experience was raising a cavalry troop for the parliamentarians in Cambridgeshire, arriving too late for the opening battle at Edgehill on Oak 23, 1642. Cromwell's ability to learn from experience became evident, notably during the Battle of Gainsborough on July 23, 1643, when he held the rank of colonel. He played a crucial role in restructuring the parliamentary forces into the new model army, showcasing its effectiveness in pivotal battles like Marston Moor in July 1644 and Naseby on June 14, 1645. By 1652, Cromwell's subsequent campaigns in Scotland and Ireland solidified his position among Britain's most successful generals. However, evaluated by his own standards, Cromwell is also remembered for his controversial actions. He was a regicide, being the third of 59 individuals to sign King Charles's death warrant. He played a pivotal role in dissolving Parliament and declaring himself Lord Protector, effectively a dictator. Additionally, his oppressive actions in Ireland have left a lasting legacy of resentment among the Irish. Nathanael Greene, 1742–1786. Nathanael Greene, born in Warwick, Rhode Island, found himself immersed in the American Revolution while managing a mill. Despite his Quaker background, Greene, fascinated by military science, advocated for independence, leading to his expulsion from the Quaker congregation, although he still identified as a Quaker, although initially contributing to the revolutionary cause by forming the Kentish Guard militia unit. After the battles of Lexington and Concord, Greene's significant involvement began when he met Major General George Washington on June 14, 1775, in Boston, establishing a lasting friendship. Appointed as Quartermaster General, Greene distinguished himself in combat at Brandywine Creek, Valley Forge, and Monmouth Courthouse. In 1780, Washington sent Greene to Charlotte, N.C., to reorganize the beleaguered Continental forces in the southern colonies and reclaim them from British Lieutenant General Charles Cornwallis. Greene orchestrated a skillful campaign of fighting retreats, culminating in the Battle of Guilford Courthouse on March 15, 1781. Although technically a British victory, Cornwallis suffered 633 casualties, prompting his withdrawal to Virginia. As Cornwallis found himself trapped at Yorktown, Greene seized the initiative, driving the last British forces out of Charleston, CSC, on Dixie. 1782, before succumbing to heat stroke in Georgia on June 19, 1786, Greene encapsulated his strategy against Cornwallis, stating, "We fight, get beat, rise, and fight again." François Dominique Toussaint Louverture, 1743–1803. François Dominique Toussaint, born to an educated slave on French-owned Saint-Domingue, gained some education through Jesuit contacts while working various roles until gaining freedom in 1776. In August 1791, a slave revolt erupted between oppressed blacks and their overseers. By 1793, Toussaint, now known as Toussaint Louverture, led rebels in a guerrilla force, earning the surname Louverture, meaning opening. His forces aided Republican France against Spanish and British forces, and the French National Assembly abolished slavery in May 1794. Toussaint showcased exceptional civil leadership, restoring the economy in 1795 and overtaking Spanish San Domingo in January 1801, declaring liberation for its diverse population. However, in January 1802, a French army, led by Major General Charles Victoire Emmanuel Leclerc, invaded Saint-Domingue with orders to reinstate slavery. Overwhelmed and losing support, Toussaint agreed to disarm in May and retire to his plantation. Instead, Napoleon Bonaparte ordered his arrest, and Toussaint died in Fort de Joux in the Jura Mountains on April 7, 1803. Bonaparte's plans backfired when Leclerc succumbed to yellow fever in November 1802. On May 18, 1803, Bonaparte, in need of funds for European operations, approved President Jefferson's Louisiana Purchase, effectively abandoning his New World ambitions. On Jan 1, 1804, one of Toussaint's disciples, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, declared himself Governor-General of Haiti, establishing the world's first black republic. Thomas Alexandre Dumas Davy de la Palatine, 1762–1806. Thomas Alexandre Dumas Davy de la Palatine, born to Alexandre Davy, Marquis de la Palatine, a minor French noble plantation owner, and his slave Marie Cesette Dumas and Jérémie Saint-Domingue Haïd, faced challenges due to his mixed heritage. Accompanying his father to France, he sought freedom and education. However, in 1786, he chose a different path, enlisting in the French Army's 5th Dragoon Regiment Queen. Amidst the French Revolution, Dumas seized numerous opportunities to showcase his military talents. His rapid ascent through the ranks culminated in him becoming the first person of African descent to achieve the rank of Brigadier General in July 1793. Though not a strategic mastermind, Dumas excelled in physical strength and led by example. He commanded the Army of the West and the Army of Italy, displaying remarkable courage, such as holding the Brixen Bridge against an Austrian cavalry squadron single-handedly in 1797. After serving in Napoleon Bonaparte's Army of the Orient from 1798 to 1799, Dumas retired in 1802, succumbing to stomach cancer in 1806. His adventurous life inspired his son, Alexandre Dumas Sr., to write classic adventure novels like The Three Musketeers, The Man in the Iron Mask, and The Count of Monte Cristo. The literary legacy continued with his grandson, Alexandre Dumas Jr., an esteemed novelist and playwright, known for works like La Dame aux Camélias. Benjamin H. Grierson, 1826–1911. Benjamin Henry Grierson, a notable figure in the American Civil War cavalry, lacked military training and harbored a fear of horses despite being a key figure. Born in Pittsburgh on July 8, 1826, Grierson's early encounter with a horse almost proved fatal, instilling a deep distrust of the animals. Educated in Ohio, he pursued a career as a music teacher and shopkeeper in Illinois. When the war erupted, Grierson joined the U.S. Army on May 8, 1861, as a volunteer aide to Brig. General Benjamin M. Prentiss, however, on Oct. 24, 1861, he was assigned to the 6th Illinois Cavalry, and by March 26, 1862, he was elected colonel by his men. Overcoming his fear of horses, Grierson led successful raids and skirmishes across Tennessee and Mississippi. His most notable achievement was a diversionary raid in April 1863, where he led 1,700 troopers across 600 miles from La Grange, 10, to Baton Rouge, La. Ahead of Confederate pursuers, the raid inflicted casualties, captured prisoners, and strategically diverted Confederate forces, aiding in the surrender of Vicksburg on July 4, 1863. Post-war, Grierson opted for a career in the Army, serving mainly on the frontier. He commanded the 10th U.S. Cavalry Regiment, Eckerted, and on April 5, 1890, received a rare promotion to Brigadier General in the regular army shortly before retiring on July 8 of that year. Vo Nguyen Giap, 1911-2013. Vu Nguyen, born to a prosperous farmer who later died in a French prison, embarked on an educational journey that led him to a Catholic lycée in Hue. Joining the Indo-Chinese Communist Party in 1931, he earned a law degree in 1938 and, while working as a history teacher, delved into the study of military history. In 1940, Giap met Ho Chi Minh in China, where he absorbed tactics and strategies from Mao Zedong. By the end of World War II, Giap became the Minister of Defense for the People's Army of Vietnam, a communist nationalist force. From 1946 to 1954, he blended guerrilla and conventional warfare, experiencing both victories and defeats, but learning and adapting from each encounter. His notable triumph over the French at Dien Bien Phu in 1954 surprised Western powers, and he continued to wear down U.S. forces between 1965 and 1973. Although regarded as a military genius, Giap saw himself more as a soldier than a politician. Despite his successes, he faced challenges within the North Vietnamese leadership, particularly during the 1968 Tet and 1972 Easter offensives, where the strategy of General Secretary Le Duan prevailed over Giap's, resulting in tactical defeats. Ultimately, the PAVN triumphed over the American-backed Saigon government in 1975. In 1978, Giap oversaw the invasion of Kampuchea, toppling Pol Pot's Khmer Rouge government. When China launched a punitive expedition into Vietnam in 1979, Giap's stout defense with the PAVN compelled the invaders to withdraw in March. While Giap is recognized as a military strategist, it's noted that his self-taught tactics were uniquely suited to the conditions of Indochina in the latter half of the 20th century.